What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review, and this time we're taking a look at Fury, written and directed by David Ayer. Now, I'm going to try and make this review as short as I possibly can. I overall thought that Fury is a damn good war movie. I wouldn't put it up there along the likes of a Full Metal Jacket or a Saving Private Ryan, but on its own two feet, this movie is damn good. I think David Ayer crafted a very, very visceral and very just gut-wrenching war movie. Now, the best thing about this movie is the cast and the camaraderie amongst the cast. This movie has Brad Pitt, Michael Pena, Jon Bernthal, Shia LaBeouf, and Logan Lerman. All five of these men play so well off one another. With Logan Lerman's character pretty much being the outsider character to these four men who are an established unit within themselves and are battle scarred. The Brad Pitt plays War Daddy, who is the leader of the squadron, and he has seen some shit. You have Shia LaBeouf's character known as Bible, who is, more along the lines of the Bible character is more of he's the religious type. He's more of a forgiving type. And you have the character of Grady, played by Jon Bernthal, who is pretty much the resident dick of the group. And then you have Michael Pena's character of Gordo, who is another good character to himself as well. And the camaraderie amongst these five men is what really are 5, 6 men is what really makes this movie work. I thought their chemistry works really, really well. I like the dynamics with these characters as well. The Logan Lerman character is known as Norman. He is pretty much like I said, he's the outsider to the group who is forced to be in the ward that he doesn't want to be because he is a typist. So we see this movie through his eyes, and we see the horrors of the war that David Ayer shows us in this movie, and he of course is mortified, and he is forced to do things that he doesn't want to do. There's this really intense, just disturbing scene where War Daddy pretty much forces Norman to shoot a man. But then we get to this one other. Then we see the relationship develop further between Norman and this group, and a camaraderie starts to develop. War Daddy becomes sort of a mentor to the Norman character. The character of Grady and Norman have a bit of a rivalry going on, which towards the end of the movie, the Grady character finally accepts Norman, and we have a great, powerful scene just before the final act, just before the final battle scene, where these men accept Norman into the group by calling him a machine, giving him a war name. And I think David Ayer this movie's strong suit really is the cast and really is the dynamics within this group. That's not to say this movie doesn't have any other good things to it. Production-wise, I think David Ayer captured that World War II vibe to a T. The battle scenes in this movie are really well executed. Some of them can be downright gruesome in a lot of ways. This movie has a very grim, dark tone to it. This movie does not pull no punches. It's not afraid to be what it is. Now, there are certain elements in this movie that I don't really care for. Some of the dialogue in this movie can be a little spotty here and there, but the actors do the best they can to make it work. But from a visual standpoint, I thought that's where David Ayer really, really shines. I think his battle scenes are well executed. I think he captured that World War II period and vibe really, really, really well. The look of the army tank known as Fury, which is where all these men pretty much command, is the tank Fury. It looks like it's been through shit, and when the Fury tank's in action, David Ayer really shines. The battle scenes are like edge of your seat. There's particularly this one great battle scene that I love, where this SS Tiger tank takes pretty much, there's 3 tanks, and these 3 tanks get ambushed by a German Tiger tank, and 2 out of the 3 tanks get destroyed, and the Fury tank just barely manages to beat out the Tiger tank. And of course, this segues into the final battle, where the Fury is pretty much ambushed by 300 German soldiers, and it's a brutal, gruesome battle scene where pretty much every single person dies, with the exception of Norman. And just before that scene, that's where they accept Norman into the group, and that's where that's where the friendship actually really starts to form, in my eyes, in a way. And when we see these characters die gruesome deaths, we're saddened by it because we spend so much time with them. We like them. We like the Grady character, even though he can be a dick. But he had a moment he had a moment with the Norman character where he accepted him. We like the Gordo character, even though he can be an asshole as well. We like the Bible character, and we like the War Daddy character. And when we see these characters get picked off by the German soldiers, we feel each and every death. And I think David Ayer captured it very, very perfectly. Now, another thing that I don't like, especially with the dialogue, there's this one scene where they go into this little apartment while after they occupy a German town, and it goes on for way too long. And Ayer tries to attempt a romance between Norman and this German girl named Emma, and it's really forced. It's kind of flimsy, especially when the Emma character dies. I'm supposed to buy the fact that Norman is really torn up about it, but to me, you only spent a couple of hours with her. I'm not really emotionally attached to you and this girl. Maybe if this movie had set up from the point that Norman and this girl Emma already had some sort of a thing going on by being pen pals or something like that, I would have bought it. But for what Ayer gave me, kind of flimsy, and the scene just runs just 15 to 20 minutes way too long. You could have cut that out of the movie by at least 10 minutes, and it would have had a much better flow to it. But yeah, overall, Fury is a damn good movie, and I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. This is definitely one of the better war movies to be made in the recent times. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment sections down below. Like the video and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.